Hey guys, this is Mark Wright from Argos Dog Training up here in Boston. In this video, we're gonna take a look at a training episode that I made a little while ago about agility, confidence building, and so forth. This could be a very long video. We are gonna release it as clips later on. Also, if you check the bar below, you'll be able to skip ahead to any section that you might find interesting at this particular time. I think it is good to release the whole video at once, so that way you can watch the whole thing and it's all in context. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend that you pause now, stop now, go back, watch that thing from beginning to end, and then jump back into this. All right, so that way you see what I'm responding to. All right, so here we go. So this is Phoebe. She is here for a board and train with me. In this video, she'll just be sitting here, sitting on the leash is basically what we're doing, helping her to learn how to be calm in different environments and to be calm with me. We are sharing time, although my full attention is not on her. She's learning how to be next to me without, Phoebe's not a nuisance, but she's getting rewarded positively for being next to me without making a nuisance of herself. All right, so I love this dog, but she's not a nuisance, but there's some dogs that are, and this gives them the opportunity. You know, practicing this at home will give them opportunity to not be. So if you hear her whining or making some noise in the video, you'll be able to see how I respond to that. And yeah, we'll go from there. Yup. Good girl when she tries. Good girl, yeah. Good work, good work. Yeah, good job. Excellent. Excellent. We'll give her a little bit of a break, let her think. We'll come back to it again. Okay. So I paused this video right after I said, we'll give it a little break and let her think. And then the image I have is I'm like this. That's because I'm thinking too. So I've taught many dogs how to go through this kind of tunnel. There are many ways to do that. For most dogs and most owners, you could just have the dog lure the dog through the tunnel using your hand and food, and they'll just follow through. So that was our first attempt at that. It wasn't working the way I wanted it to work. If you look at Sandy's body language in that, you can see that she's pretty nervous. She's doing this thing that I call halfway in, halfway out. That's when a dog will lean forward, exposing their nose, sending their nose forward, but their legs are extended as far back. Their neck is stretched as far as possible. They're trying to keep their body as far away from the thing that they're nervous about as they can while they are curious. There's some curiosity there. There's some wanting to do it there. They just don't have the courage or the confidence to get through it. So that's what we're seeing there. We see her start to go in, and then she'll get kind of close, and then she will rush backwards. And she'll start to get in, get kind of close, and she'll rush backwards. But probably 80% of dogs, that way of teaching them can work, But with Sandy, it wasn't working, and it wasn't working fast enough. As she's going through it, each time that she does that, even although she's taking the little treats and she's a little bit on top of it, she's learning as she goes, and nothing bad happened to her. So next time she could just kind of process that as she's going through the other exercises, then possibly when we come back to it, she's going to be better and be more comfortable with it. All right, so that was our first attempt at the tunnel. Pretty good. I'm going to go from here and see how we do going forward. Let's see if we could get her to walk across this thing. There you go. That's easy. That's way too easy for her. Let's make it a little harder. See if you could get her to stop. First times, let's let her go across it. But, and tell her, good girl, when she gets down here, lots of petting, lots of praise, and then have her do it again. And then as you're going, you're trying to get her to stop on top of the ball, right? Now, I know Sandy and Ling very well. Ling is one of my senior students, and Sandy is a dog I've been working with for, probably a couple of years now. The story of Sandy is amazing. But anyway, the idea was that she's going over these platforms. I know Sandy gets on these platforms like every week when she comes to class, so I knew it wouldn't be a big deal. It was something that she was able to do easily and able to run past. So I only had her have to do it once, but then I wanted to make it a little harder, so I put the ball on. We are using a leash. In a lot of these, when I'm doing a lot of these exercises, if I'm in a safe spot, my goal is to get engagement from the dog and dog to be paying attention to me. Once that attention is established, a lot of the time we will drop the leash or in some cases even take the leash off. So I know that this dog is safe. I know that no one's going to rush us or nothing's going to happen. So that's why she's dragging the leash. Of course, when a dog is dragging the leash, we have to try our best to stay aware of the leash. In this case, I didn't do a very good job of that. The leash was there, there was making tension, and the dog was trying to go across but couldn't. So once we paid attention to that and we saw it, after that it was pretty good. Ling did a really good job of slowing her hand down to get the dog to rest on time or to stop on time on the ball. That was great. I'm seeing something else that I see from a lot of my senior students and things that I would like you guys to do as you're working with your dog. Make sure you reward your dog a lot. In between each of these exercises, there should be some kind of petting, some kind of engagement with the dog, so that way the dog wants to engage with you. As that engagement gets strong, the amount of time that you have to spend petting can become less, because then I could just say, good girl, and I could get the same response as if I pet her, and then I could go right into the next activity. Yeah, here we go, next part. All right, let's see if we could get her to walk across this teeter-totter thing. If you stay on that side, I'll stay on this side, so that way she's not able to fall off, right? So as we're building confidence with the dog, one of the things that we want to show is that we're going to be there to catch them. That way they have the confidence to try to do things that are difficult. And that's the biggest thing. So you kind of want to position yourself as a handler when you're doing backyard agility. I want to try to position myself in that position to be able to catch the dog. If the dog makes a mistake, if they slip, I'm there. All right, here we go. Sandy, that was not a big deal. That was not a big problem for her. The importance of petting the dog when you're doing the teeter-totter or doing things that are easy is that it builds up that currency in the bank so they know what's going to happen next, right? So even if it was something difficult or something easy, once you get through with it, you're going to get a lot of petting. You're going to get a lot of praise. We want to establish that as a part of the routine. It is important for bonding. That's why we want to do it that way. All right? Yes.
Good job.
Excellent. That's not bad. Not bad. Excellent. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to walk right over here. Oh, she chose to do it on her own. Yes, good girl. That's nice. So we see that at the end, without any motivation or any prompting, wow, Sandy. We see at the end, without any motivation or any prompting, Sandy goes across the teeter-totter, right? Or the seesaw, or the whatever you want to call it. So she goes across it. I did not ask her to. I wasn't even intending her to. But that's already her building up confidence. She doesn't need to be asked to do. Once we teach a dog to do something, they don't necessarily need to be asked to do it in order to do it. That's very important for those of you who are teaching your dog how to open the fridge door to bring your soda or your beer. Remember that the dog knows how to open the fridge door. All right, so that's important. All right, we're gonna move on here. Here we go. Okay, so Frank would like to do pointing at objects. I hope he overdubs this. So here's the tunnel. This is the tunnel. See, it looks just like a tunnel would look. It has a top, it has a bottom, it has sides. Right? It has an inside and it has an outside. All right? This is the teeter-totter. It teeters and then it totters. and it teeters, and it totters. Climb. Teeter totter. Tunnel. Oh, wait, there's one more. Wall. Okay, so we're doing a little wall jumping. Now the things that I see there, Ling is doing an excellent job, by the way. The most important thing in any kind of communication with any kind of pet dog is your ability to engage the dog, to get the dog to look and pay attention to you. That is the most important skill that any dog person can have. And it is a skill. It's like riding a bicycle. Once you know what to do, you know what to do. So the reason why I'm able to get dogs' attention easily, it seems, is because I know how to get their attention. You know, I know what to do. And it doesn't matter who the dog is or the personality. To some degree, it does. There's some dogs that it takes longer. That is true. But most dogs, once you know how to engage with them, it does not take that long for a professional dog trainer to be able to build that engagement. For our clients, it's a little bit harder. There's little things that I do naturally. I shorten the leash, like what me and Ling were talking about there, shortening the leash. So I make sure I'm aware of my leash and how I'm touching it. I know when it slides, there's tension on it. To the best of my ability, I want to be aware of that. I only want tension on the leash at particular times, and most of the time I don't. So you won't see, hopefully, you won't see me just holding tension on the leash and not paying attention to that. The leash will be loose if the dog is behaving in a way that I like them to behave, right? So knowing, being aware of your leash. The other thing is the timing as to when you say yes. That's important too. For me, it was every time that the dog's paws hit the surface that I wanted, yes, that's exactly it. You know, the yes, when I say yes to a dog, I want to see the dog's response to me. If I say yes and the dog blows me off, then I need to do easier exercises so that way I could work on getting the dog to hear that yes and know that it's a reward. So that way they turn directly to me. If they're turning directly back to me, then I could quickly, after I say yes, I could quickly get them moving again, reward them again, quickly get them moving again. And that whole time, in time, it starts to become a long period of engagement. You know, a long period where the dog is only focused on doing the thing that you want them to do. And that's the secret. That's the key. That's the thing that you should always be working on with your own personal dog. All right, so that is the purpose of this jumping up and down on the wall, but it's also something that's going to take us through the other exercises that we're doing. All right, here we go, moving on. Being a dog trainer, you have to be willing to do what you ask the dog to do, right? Hi, dog. Hi, dog. Hi. Drop some treats. Let's go, sweetie. Oh, there you are. There you are. Hey, 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 hey. Easy now. Good girl. Excellent. A couple of things here. One, she actually did go through the tunnel that way. Luckily, that dog trainer had somebody there to help him get out of the tunnel. That was, you know, either good thinking ahead or just lucky stuff. But anyway, she did end up getting through. Now, with my 3 dogs, I taught my 3 dogs how to go through this tunnel, and that's the way I did it, with my own personal 3 dogs, right? So the other way, feeding the arm through, I've taught a lot of dogs to do that, especially puppies with just the arm going through and they go around the bend and they come out. With my personal dogs, this was the technique. Let's see how it works out with Sandy. So far, she went through it once. At this point, if I was a dog trainer, I would feel some hope because previously she wasn't able to get through it at all right? Good job. Oh, that was hard. You want to do it again? Looks like you want to do it again. Let's go. Have to move this whole thing down. Sweetie, let's go. Let's go, sweets. Oh, what happened? What happened? Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so she's like, not so much. Now, previously, I was talking about how we want to make sure that we're aware of the leash and the tension on the leash, right? And I am aware there is tension on the leash here, a little bit on Sandy, and I am aware of that. With some new things, when the dog is doing a new thing, sometimes we want to use a little bit of extra energy in order to just get them doing it. So that way they see that it's not bad. That's not bad for them. When we do that, we have to be watching the dog and we have to be reasoning and balancing things out, right? If the dog starts to show too much stress with it, then it's not the way for that dog, right? So we see here Sandy now, instead of going through or trying to go through, which she was doing before, now she's actively trying to resist. Right? And I do recognize that as I'm feeling the leash, when a dog is trying to resist, there's no sensation like it. You know, you get to know it, you know what it is. So I do recognize that at this time, and we'll see what happens going forward.
Sandy! Hi, sweetie. Hey, sweets, here I am. Hey, Sandy. Hey, sweets, here I am. I'm over here. Yeah, that's where I am. Let's go. Hey. Hey. Sandy! Here I am, sweetie. Here. Whoa! Sandy! Here I am. All right, I'm gonna give that a break for a second.
Okay, so you see here we have actually a regression. The dog stepped back a little bit. Before, if you watched the first clip where she went in, there was none of that, I don't want to go. But because I just put so much tension on her or so much pressure on her to move forward, then now she really doesn't want to do it, right? And that's what we're seeing here. Of course, my relationship with her is really good, but I am not her owner. If I was a trainer in this position, I'd probably have her owner try it too. All right. And this is a climb, basically it's climb platforms. A climb platform is a little plastic platform. They cost a little bit, but they last forever. This thing will be on this earth longer than I will, right? So it lasts forever. They're really cool. You can make them small, you can make them big. I could take out the wheels, right? I could take off the legs and I could put them here. And then I have like a 4-inch, maybe 5-inch box. I'm not sure of the exact specs and dimensions, but you could definitely check it out. I like this tool a lot. I use it in all of my puppy kindergarten, adolescent dog socialization, my basic classes, and my advanced classes. They fit together nicely. So this is a climb, and basically the idea is that the dog will climb over. On this thing, I think, I call it a ball, but I think Frank is gonna put the real name of it somewhere here, because he'll look it up. But it starts with a B, and it sounds real funny. Maybe he could put the pronunciation in there too. But yeah, it's fun. I use that too for my own fitness and my own mobility and balance. I use it with my dogs, so forth. I use it with client dogs, like the one we have. So that's the whole story. Climb. Teeter-totter. Tunnel. Yeah, I'm ready. A little further.
Yes, good girl. Good girl, good job. Good job.
Yes, pet that dog. Look how brave she is. Excellent. I like this video a lot. I like Sandy a lot because Sandy is so expressive with her features. If you watch her ears and her body language, it speaks so loudly as to what she's thinking and how she's feeling. If you notice, her concentration is actually pretty good. Like she stays focused on what she's supposed, like what we want her to do, which is excellent. The first time when she first put the paw on, I intentionally let it rock a lot. So that way she would know the nature of the device, you know, or the nature of the thing that she's going across. Needless to say, we just came out of the tunnel a little while ago where there was a little bit of breakdown, you know, where she could have felt like more forced, although she didn't do it, and we stopped it. she could have felt more forced there. And of course, that's going to make her feel more hesitant here. Like there's going to be a little bit of lost trust, which is okay. This is how you learn things, right? So she's on top of the box. She's doing pretty good. At first, she didn't want to go, but her owner, her mom, was able to convince her to go across once again. Lost track of the leash. That's something that you don't really want. But positives and negatives are going to happen in everyday life. And as we're training the dog, these little things that are happening, they're making the dog stronger and helping us to be able to overcome these kind of things that make our dogs shy or make our dogs nervous. It also desensitizes them to those things too, in a certain sense. Right? So that is important that they go through that as a part of the confidence building. Natural things will happen that makes it hard. That's going to happen. As time went on and we were going, I started making it so that way it would move less. But then we start to work on getting it so that way it will move more and more and more as well. This is kind of fun. It's like ninja training for dogs. I don't know if you've ever seen that show, that ninja show, where the people are climbing over obstacles and stuff. It's kind of like that for dogs. So we're gonna move on here and see what she's up to next. Yes. Excellent. I lied. We're gonna do one more because I want my hands off it. Ready?
Yes.
Excellent.
Girl.
That's good. All right. It's jumping Sandy time. Sandy, let's go. You can see here, finally, the dog trainer realized that the whole yard is fenced in, and the dog trainer took the leash off the dog. I don't know what's up with that knucklehead, but finally, he got it together, all right? So maybe the leash won't be getting caught in as much stuff. But even if it did, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it is positive if it does. It helps her. Yes! Sandy is a well-trained dog. You can see she's wearing no collars, nothing here. She's in a fenced-in backyard, so she doesn't really need anything. She knows communication. She knows how to read and anticipate what we're gonna do. She knows what we do when we say yes, what we do when we say no. She respects those things, right? It is important to get into a position where you're able to work with your dog off leash if you want to get past the crutch of a leash, right? I'm always working and thinking with my clients how to make it so that we were using the leash least possible. I want to hold it. A lot of times I'll secure it to my belt. I want to be holding the leash as a way to keep the dog safe, but I don't want to really use it a lot as a way to make the dog do things or to hold the dog next to me or things like that. Engagement, back to engagement, that's what it's all about. If we want the dog to stay with us, we keep them engaged. So now, Ling did really well. If you look at the beginning compared to the first, where she first started and how much Sandy was moving away. In this, the dog is not on leash and she might have did like 7, 8, 9, 10 jumps where there was no gap at all. But at some point she lost Sandy a little bit. So Ling, if you're watching, get to work. Here, you ready? Ready, girl? Ready? Up. Yes. Good job. Off. Yes, we have to remember to make it harder. Up. Yes. Let's go this way. Off. Yes, good job. Excellent. Ready? Up. Yes, good girl. Excellent. Ready? Off. Excellent. Good girl. Ready? Up. Yes, good job. Ready? Off. Excellent. Good girl. Ready? Up. Yeah, there you go. Excellent. Off. Excellent, dog. You did good. What is that? What is that? What is that? Last one. Hey, ready? Up. Oh, where you going? Ready? Up. Yeah, good girl. Very good. Up. Excellent. Ready? Ready? Up. Yes, good girl. Very good, sweetie. So what do we see there? able to hold her attention. If you notice, she's much more engaged with me at this point in her training. When I say yes, she turns around right away. And if you notice, I say yes, then I give the treat just about every time. That's important. Now at the end there, I got excited trying to amp her up to have her jump up, and she scooted away. No panic. You don't want to feel that there's a sense of panic there. I stayed calm, almost like we're in a fenced-in backyard, of course, but almost like, yeah, I wanted you to run away. It's fine. You go run over that way if you want to. It's not going to change my demeanor. She came back from running the wrong way to jump on the low end, to go back to what she was more confident with. And what did I do? I praised her just like she jumped where I wanted her to jump. At the high end that's past my hip. So that's pretty high for a dog her size. Then finally she came down again, and then I was able to get her to jump exactly where I wanted her to jump. That is the confidence being built right there. She did not want to do that necessarily. She was like, that's too high for me. And that's why she ran away at first. Maybe my voice, maybe there's something I did with my body that kind of spooked her too, but I think the main part was that she was like, that's too high. And then she came back and she jumped at a lower part, and she's like, that's something I can do. But then she tried it, and that's what I like about Sandy. She will try. She's a brave dog. Here we go. Even when she's afraid, she tries. Here we go. Ling, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You want to try your best to get her at least to go through once today. Right? It doesn't matter how. We don't have to rush to get her to try to go through. We could just kind of sprinkle them, throw them in there, let her know they're there. She could look for them, reach for them. So, this is our third or maybe fourth way that we're trying to get her through the tunnel. The idea here is that if you just sprinkle food in there and you leave the dog alone, maybe they will find, just by seeking the food, without us telling them what to do, what we want them to do. This is a hard one for clients too, and for myself when I'm doing this. Like when it's just me and the dog, I'll sprinkle it in there and I'll just go 10 feet away and I'll get some lemonade and I'll just let it stay in there. Even if I don't see the dog go through, but I see all the treats are moved, all of them are gone, then I know the dog at least leaned all the way to the bend to pick up treats there, and then or leaned the other way to the bend, which means that they're getting more comfortable with it, even if I didn't see him do it. But if I see him do it from a distance, I'm not gonna say a lot of yes. I probably would just sprinkle more treats and move away again. But because we're shooting a video, we're much more active here in helping the dog to get through with that sprinkle treat technique. Let's see how that works anyway.
Okay, I'm going in.
Yep. Okay, so Ling sprinkled a couple treats and she was like, I'm going in. so that's pretty cool. Here we go. Look, Mom's in there. There she is. There you go. Good job.
Wow.
See if you could get her to give you eye contact while she's in there.
Yeah.
So luring to eye contact if you can. She found all those treats you put in there. Now, if you look at her body here, she's no longer halfway in, halfway out. If you look at her body language, her legs are not kicked all the way back. She's still showing that she's not comfortable, but she's not in a position where she's really as uncomfortable as she was in the beginning, right? So we're seeing a decrease there. Now you need to slide back just a little bit. Oh, she's out of there. Excellent. That's the hard part. That was the difficulty I was having, was sliding back just a little bit. Okay, come on out of there, Ling. You're doing great. All right, let's do this. Right? Get her to go through there. Should be. So there's some dogs out there who this is the best strategy for. So far, different ideas. Nothing is really working the way I want it to be. So that strategy here is just to make it small, so that way the time she's inside is short. and then gradually being able to spread out. Let's see how she does with this one. This might be the right strategy for her.
Yes.
Excellent. And she's going back through again.
Hey.
Get that nose, get that dog. Don't let her spend all day out there.
Girl.
Excellent. And she's going back through again. Remember, a dog could tell a lot from a little. One treat is different than 5 treats.
Good girl.
And here we go again. And then this is gonna be our last one. Yes, pet that dog.
Good girl.
Lots of praise.
So what did we see? We saw that when we shrank the tunnel, the dog was going in and out quickly. For me, for my eye, the amount of times that she went through that tunnel when it was small, that lets me know that that is the way that we have to proceed in order to get her comfortable with this. Remember, this is Sandy's first backyard agility lesson. So by calling it the first, we're already implying that there will be a second and a third. Now that I know the way I think to be able to build this, I think it's gonna be really quick before she's able to really show that growth and really be able to move through that tunnel pretty easily. We're learning how to build her confidence, right? Any dog trainer is going to run into those situations where they try something and it doesn't work. They try something else and it doesn't work. And that's just because they have experience. As I said, all of these techniques have worked with me multiple times throughout the past, you know, but for Sandy, none of them worked. Right? Until the very end, when we get to the very last technique, which is a technique that's worked for me in the past too. And that one starts to work for her. So you want to find yourself a dog trainer that has a large bag to be able to pull from. Yeah, so that is what happened. It was fun. If you enjoy what you see here today, then definitely subscribe to our channels. Hit us up on our other social media, which you should be able to find in the description below. Tell your friends about our channel, subscribe please, hit the notification bell. That means a lot to me and it means a lot to Frank and it means a lot to everybody else who's involved with Argos dog training. Thank you for watching, enjoy your day and enjoy your dog.